Once you've gotten access to institutional alerts and your administrators have set up your accounts with the proper groups, in this example we've got two groups, logistics and sales, and underneath the groups we've got two roles. For logistics we have managers and drivers, and for sales we have managers and field reps. Once you have that set up, you can check to make sure that the roles are set up how you want for your use. You can check to make sure that the managers, they're sending messages. The drivers, if we look at them, they're going to be receiving messages only. And we can see underneath that different users have been assigned, different Twitter users have been assigned to the drivers as opposed to the managers. Another thing to note is that groups can either have inheritance turned on or inheritance turned off. So if logistics has inheritance turned on, everyone in the drivers group and everyone in the managers group will receive messages no matter what. However, if you have inheritance turned off for the sales group, if you select managers to send out the message to, or I'm sorry, field reps, then only the field reps will get the message. Managers will not receive that message. So we can check that if we have our logistics selected. We select edit group. We can see that inherited messages is turned on, and we can see sales, that inherited message selection is turned off. Once all that's set up, how would you create messages for your different user groups and roles? Well, the first thing is you want to check that you have some template messages ready to go. So template messages are messages that are saved and have already been created, and you can quickly select those template messages instead of typing a single one out and then send that out to your users. You can check those by coming up to Site Actions, and you can see right now we've got 3 messages in the can that can be used for our different templates here. If we search for accident, we see that there is one message that comes up. If we search for hour, we can see that that one comes up. So it gives you a quick way to select a message, and then you can actually edit it from in here by going ahead and clicking the pencil icon. So we'll go ahead and close this. So those are template messages. So let's get into the actual act of sending a message and what we can do there. So if we come up, we've got our role, our institutional alert account, DIS Developer 11 set up. And now one thing to know is when you're sending out messages and you send any message out, the admin for that will automatically get a copy of that message sent to its account as well. So no matter if we come down to logistics and we only want to send a message out to say this particular driver, we get a message here that individual users, the inheritance rule has been turned off for this, and they're the only person that's going to get the message if you send it out because they're the only one selected. However, the administrator will always get the message. If, however, we want to send out the message to everyone in the driver's group, I'm going to close this. So on the messaging tab, you can see that we've got our particular parent group selected, our DS Developer 11 institution. And then if we open that up, we've got our 2 groups. We've got our role selected. So what inheritance means is that if I select drivers, you can see that the inheritance is turned on, this little symbol. That means managers will also get the message no matter what. So I can't unselect. If I select only one driver, that's going to be inheritance will be turned off at that point. But if I select the actual role of drivers, then the role of managers, everyone that's in that role of managers will also get the message. And one thing to note is that no matter who you select to get the message, if I select only DIS Developer 61 to receive the message, the admin will always get a copy of the message sent to their Twitter account for a direct message as well. So let's see how inheritance is not selected under sales. If I select managers, notice that field reps doesn't get selected, or vice versa. So we can tell that we don't have that inheritance button turned on, as we do here when we get down to field reps and managers, because we do not select that underneath the sales group. We can also see how the messages are going to be sent out if when we get this warning whenever we select an individual user. So we can see that inheritance rules are set by administration have been turned off in this particular when you're selecting a single user to get your message to be sent to them. And then we also have this setting where this is an emergency message. If we select this, right now all that happens is that in the where these messages are stored and who they were sent to, it's noted as an emergency message, so you can track that information for your company. It doesn't necessarily get there any quicker than a normal direct message would using the Twitter API. And you only see this if your institute has been set up to use emergency messages within its data structure. So for this example, if we want to send out a message to our sales field reps, we would select field reps. If we only wanted to select one of these users to send it to, we would only select one of these. But in this case, we want to select field reps because we want to send out this message to both of them. Now, the message we want to send, for instance, we know something has just come out, a new product, and we want to make sure that our field reps know that if they're selling this product, that they can give a discount to existing customers on that product to get them to try it for the first time. So I can come over here, and remember earlier we had a template in the can, so we just select that template. And when we select that template, our message comes in right here in the text, and we can send message. We can also, if we wanted to, add a picture to this message. So we just click here, select our image from our local files, open it, and once that image has been loaded, we can either choose to get rid of it or include it, and then we can just send the message. Now let's say, for instance, that we didn't want to use our template, and we didn't want to necessarily include our sample image either. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. And to get rid of our template, we can just come up here and click the blank space right here, and that goes away, and now we can type our own message. And then we can add a different message from here, and now we can send this message out to our 2 field reps. And this again is a direct message sent right to their Twitter account, and it gets done immediately with a copy to the admin level user, DIS Developer 11. Another item to note while you're creating messages is that Institutional Alerts wants to grab the geolocation of the person who's sending the message, and also if you include media, if it's set up, if your account's set up for this, underneath Institutional Alerts, you can track the geolocation of the users that when they view the media within the direct message, you can get their geolocation. And this is by default, and it can be turned off by the users. So if you're creating a message and send message, depending on what browser you're in, whether it's Chrome, Edge, Firefox, you'll receive a message asking if you want to allow Institutional Alerts to get your location. And if you click allow, then that information will be stored when you send the message or when the user views the attached media to the direct message that you sent them. If they've checked allow access, then that information can be stored, but it can always be turned off by going into your browser settings and choosing either to block the location tracking or initially not checking to allow locations tracking when you first view the message or send the message. So that's one way to keep track of where your users are sending their messages from and where they're viewing specific media that you send in the direct message. That's how you use institutional alerts to send out messages. You can send out messages that you create on the fly. You can use templates. You can include pictures or other media, such as a PDF. And you can manage how you choose to send out users by messages to users by using inheritance, or select single users to get that message out to them instead of sending out to an entire group. If you have any other questions about how to use the messaging functionality within institutional alerts, please see our other training videos or our online user guide.